and welcome back to my channel. We are off eventing today for our first event of the season, once I catch Maggie. Really weird eventing starting like in midday. So Maggie's in having breakfast in her stable. I'm literally gonna scoff this in like 2 seconds. I've got an omelette and I have put tomato ketchup on it. Please don't judge me. It also feels really weird vlogging, eventing and getting back behind the camera after Titan, but life goes on. I don't want everything to stop. I want to enjoy my other horses too, as much as I miss him, and we are going to carry on. So we are going to Lincoln today. It's going to be our first run of the season and we are in the BE100 class, and we're going to leave here at midday, and it is 9 minutes past 11 now, so I best quickly eat this and go get Maggie platted.
Now you adore me. Go ahead now, adore me, adore me. Little did I know she wanted you alone. I thought she was over you, but I guess I was wrong. I came to the I laughed at the jokes she made. I wish that I hadn't, 'cause now the joke's on me. I didn't come here just so I could watch you make a mess. I didn't come here to ugly cry in my favorite dress. She thought she could tear us apart when she kissed your lips. Oh, what a plot twist.
Okay, so the night before Lincoln we went and had a bit of a nosy at the course, and you can see it's quite nice and the ground is impressive given how wet our winter has been. And they'd run that day, so I was running on the Saturday and they'd run on the Friday, but you can see with the tracks in the ground here how much work they were already doing that evening to improve it, and they'd put stones down and the works. So far so good. Number 3 to number 4 was a bit related, and the rest were sort of straightforward fences to get you into a rhythm. And then this was the first sort of combination on course, first proper one. So we had 3 log piles, and first ones were A, B, and then this one was individually numbered, which means that you can do a circle between part B and number 8 because they're separate fences. But obviously, if you want to have a nice smooth ride, you'd like to go straight. And that walked on 4 short and then 4 long. Then there was more let up fences. Obviously it's the start of the season, so it doesn't need to be too complicated. And 2 steps up, this was on a bounce stride. And then we had the water, and it was very forgiving water, just a hanging log, a couple of strides through the water and over a skinny. Then this was on a slightly downhill and obviously on a curving line, a bit of an accuracy question midway through the course. And nice table, nice let up fence again. I sort of felt like it was all fairly straightforward, but I think the course builders will have been keeping in mind that most of us haven't got out cross-country schooling at all. Maggie had only been out on grass because we'd managed to get her to the hunter trial, and other than that, that was it. And then just on our way home, more let up fences. This one's the penultimate fence, and actually it's got a bit of a ditch underneath it, but by then they should be sort of thinking forwards and going, and the ditch sets them back because actually the palisade is pretty upright and a nice little house to finish. Let's go back to present day and get eventing.
'Cause now you adore me, adore me. Go right now, adore me, adore me. Oh, so oh, so adore me, adore me. Go right now, adore me, adore me.
And we're on board. So here's a little bit of my warm-up. It's quite early on, we can tell, because my coat is still on. It was pretty chilly there. Oh, and I've got my jacket off at this stage. So I start my warm-off giving her a nice long and low stretch, give her lots of chance to loosen off in this cold weather and get all of her muscles and joints and everything warmed up. And then I started picking her up to do a little bit more. My whole warm-up, she was very obedient, very good girl, but she was feeling pretty sharp off my leg, which you can't see here. But I was spending quite a lot of time just trying to get my leg on her so that we were sort of working together rather than me being perched on top and Maggie doing her own thing. Now as we head in, wasn't she a good girl with all the seagulls flying up near her? I thought she was an angel given that had happened. And I'd been having a debate as I went around the edge whether I needed to do my testing sitting or rising. In sitting, I can sort of hold her together a little bit better, but sometimes I feel a little bit silly doing sitting for a 100 test, which maybe I should get over because it doesn't really matter as long as you're doing it well. So just trotting around, getting ready to go, and we are going to preempt this test with remembering that Maggie hasn't been to an event since I think it was June or July, whenever we went to Little Downham, and she obviously did very well and won. She hasn't been to an event since. So she was pretty keen bean, and I started noticing as she was going around the edge, she was just getting a little bit strong, but I thought that's fine, we can work with that. And I believe we're about to go down the centre line now. So a good turn onto the centre line. It's quite funny, instantly you can kind of just see her start to take a little bit of a hold. She, the only way I could describe it is she felt like somebody had pressed the accelerator and it got stuck on. So I immediately thought, oh my goodness, we're starting to get very keen very quickly, and I'm just going to have to sort of do what I can, do the best I can, firefight a little bit. And you can just see she's much less steady in the contact and much more chompy down the bit than she usually is. She's usually quite obedient, trying to swing her bottom side to side. And no, there's nothing major going on. It's not terribly bad. But when you're very used to Maggie sort of being quite obedient and quite harmonious, you can sort of see where it's a little bit like, oh, this isn't as good as it can be sometimes. So we started the first few movements on a 7, and then the 3 loop serpentine we dropped down to a 6 with some loss of balance and inconsistent contact, which we clearly saw. The working canter right transition was a 7 and the circle right was a 7. Then we got a 6.5 for this movement coming up where we do a transition to trot. And you can see she's just chomping down on her bit, and I never have her flash very tight. It's just sort of there. Maybe I should just ride her in a cavesson because it's never tight enough to do anything. But she never usually opens her mouth anyway. This is just sort of a little bit of energy coming out, which is fine. It was slightly frustrating at the time, but I was thinking, well, we just get on with it, don't we? Free walk on a long rein, we actually got a 7.5. I personally didn't think it was very good, but the judge obviously enjoyed the lengthening of her steps, which was good. She was then a little bit keen in the walk, and actually she was quite late to my aids, both for the trot transition and the canter transition, and you can see her just being quite argumentative in the contact again. So we got 6.5 for that, but a 7 for our 20 metre circle, and then we got to turn left here at E and go forwards to trot at K, and she got a 6.5 for that trot transition. To be honest, I was just pleased that we managed to do the trot transition, because Maggie felt like she might just carry on, and the willingness to go forward is brilliant, but I think Maggie would have just quite liked to have gone for a good old gallop. And it's nice to know that she's fit. We just need a little bit extra schooling work, and there's glimpses there where she looks very, very beautiful, and that's probably why we were still getting 7s for that 3-loop serpentine, even though I was sat there thinking, my goodness, this is going a little bit quick for my liking. Turn on to centre line, we got a 7, and then you can see she's wanting to do medium trot, and we sort of abrupt to halt, and we got a 6.5 for that. Okay, that's the dressage done. It wasn't our best test, to say the least.
It's a new day for a high. It's another day to try to get by. And ooh, yeah, I'm feeling now every second, every hour of the day. Yeah. It's a new day for a high. Yeah.
Okay, here's our show jumping round. She was pinging out of her skin. She was happy to be there. You saw her in the warm-up, just jolly as anything. To me, the course looked quite small. I don't know if that's because I've been jumping larger courses, or whether they'd actually kept it a little bit small because the ground was a little bit damper, but I thought they'd done a really great job with the ground, to be fair. So you've got 2 views on our show jumping round, because lovely Liz, who was there, also took a video, as well as Mum, which was very kind of her, and someone also sent me a video too, so thank you guys so much. And as you can see, she's finding it pretty easy. I'm riding a much better line on my dog legs, which I was quite pleased with. She was pretty keen to get on with the job, and if I'd have let her, she'd have done it much quicker, which would have been quite funny, but not really advisable. And I don't really have tons to say about it. You can see we're cracking on. I wish I had a little bit more adjustability, but by the same token, I'm not about to start complaining that my horse is happy to be out eventing and jumping. And the adjustability will come as she gets more used to being back out competing again.
It's a new day for good times. I just turn the page, let it write what it likes. And ooh, yeah, I feel it now. Every atom in my body feels okay. Yeah. It's a new day for good times.
Well, we're just checking in on our way back from the show jumping. Well, I'd hop off and just do a bit of walking with Maggie. She was a very good girl to show jump. Dressage wasn't the test that I was anticipating with the way she warmed up. She sort of got into the dressage arena, and it was almost as if the accelerator got locked down. You were keen. She said I was very keen. So it's one of those things. I'd been finding it a bit tedious getting my leg on her in the warm-up, but managing it. And then the moment we got into the dressage ring, I couldn't get my leg on. She was just very forwards, very keen, which, you know what, I'm not going to complain about. It's first event of the season, and there's a whole lot more to worry about than your horse being happy to be back eventing. So we got 33 dressage, and then we had exactly the same enthusiasm in the show jumping, and she jumped a lovely clear. So we've now not got very long before cross country, so we're gonna go change my outfit into a cross country attire and change Maggie's boots into cross country boots, and then we'll be out doing our favourite thing. Hey little girl, she says that show jumping was a bit small, mum. Wish us luck.
It's hard to stay real in a world full of fakes. It's hard to find truth when the liars are great. I'm trying my best to stay out of your way. Oh well, oh well. You talk a big talk, but got nothing to say. You hold your head high, but your morals to fade. I know you feel cool, but your bubble will break. Oh well, oh well. You can walk into a room, and every fool will try to be like you. But I'm not gonna sell my soul just to be someone you wanna know. Who you like is out of my control. I'm okay being me. I'm not gonna change myself just to make you fall under some spell. Rather be alone than be a shell. I'm okay being me. You say you don't judge and your friends all agree. They see you for you, but they don't see what I see. A narcissistic personality. Oh well. You think the world is yours. You think it spins for you. You think you deserve more than every other fool. You can walk into a room, and every fool will try to be like you. But I'm not gonna sell my soul just to be someone you wanna know. Who you like is out of my control. I'm okay being me. I'm not gonna change myself just to make you fall under some spell. Rather be alone than be a shell. I'm okay being me. I'm okay being me.
Well, we're on our way home now. Sorry, I didn't manage to catch all the wash down and everything because it was getting, there you go, that shows better, getting pretty dark out. So Maggie's had ice on and washed off, and she's in the back of the lorry, and we've just put some fuel in because we'll take Donut out training tomorrow. And yeah, she was such a good girl. We came fourth. I don't know where my rosette is. Maybe in the back. Okay, we are home now with Maggie, who is very keen to get off the lorry. You're just amazing, aren't you? She says yes, so super duper keen, but like I say, much worse problems to have than having a horse happy to go back and do her job. Little girl. So I'm gonna grab her off, and I'm gonna go give her a big old cuddle and get her into her pajamas. Hey, Maxie. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and we will be out and about again soon. And make sure to like and subscribe so that you can keep up with what we're up to. In the meantime, bye bye.